Wonderful to see you all here. So, I'm sure all of you will be wondering what is harnessing the collective intelligence. Harnessing collective intelligence has been fundamental for me from very, very long time. Imagine you're standing in front of a magnificent mosaic. Each glass pieces adding the color, each cracks in those glass pieces, illuminating the light that is coming through it. Every piece making it a masterpiece. As you all imagine that. Now imagine the missing pieces from this whole mosaic. Isn't it the beauty incomplete? And well, this is true in today's dynamic world, when voices, ideas, and talent are excluded, especially of women and women leaders, where the innovation equation is not in balance. The brilliance of collective intelligence comes from each of these pieces coming together, making it the masterpiece. Today, I'm going to share the principle behind it that shaped my own journey to make a magnificent career of mine, where I built my brand as well as a career with this fundamental of collective intelligence. When I joined the professional career, like many other women, I found myself small. Small in height, small in voice, small in all the ways. I was like those missing pieces of those mosaic, lost. But over the period of time, I really realized that I have unique strengths within me, that I can bring the change not only within me but around me. That led to many transformation. I started as a manual QA engineer, and over the period of 24 years, I became an engineering leader, managing global teams and also managing various technologies. Being an expertise from database system to my last stint, embracing generative AI technology. Well, I didn't stop myself there. I just started liking to be uncomfortable. I started putting myself into each of these pieces. Then I decided to leave my career and start my journey as my entrepreneurship, as a leadership coach. And I enjoyed this journey because I was not only growing leaders within the organization, but outside the organization as well. But this all did not come easy. There was a silence gap in me. And this was the silence gap was very important for me to build in. When I was growing professionally, I was in very much keen on skilling myself because that was one thing my mom always said. You need to skill yourself. You need to be independent financially as well as independent emotionally and mentally as well. A lot of time we feel the financial independence comes in only when we earn. The honest part is that's not true. The financial independence will come in when I become the collective decision maker of my family. Not just I earn the money and hand it over. So collective intelligence starts right from the family to your workplace. I grew professionally very well, contributed to various tech communities and built various communities. Many of you who are sitting here know me for building communities for women in tech under the Lean Foundation. Today I sit in the advisory board on promoting communities across the globe. You know why I did it? When I was alone, when I didn't find anybody around, I thought I'll build the network. And that network gave me the power to speak. While I was growing all these community, I was always behind the scene, hosting, allowing others to shine. Once I hosted an event on personal branding, very interesting event that changed the transformation in my journey to become who I am today speaking in front of you. This personal branding coach, at the end of the session, said something very different. What she said me to the audience was, Preeti elevated my talk today. She contributed to my talk. She made me closer to every one of you sitting here, even before I met you. And she called me upon the stage and insisted me to speak. Reluctantly, I did. Why? Because I was not prepared. But what I told that day was my story of who I am. Collecting all the words, collecting all the experience, which I was very much proud about of being a self-made person, right from investing in my career because of the financial needs I did not have at that time, and also growing professionally very strong. A lot of women in the audience resonated with me and gave the applaud. Even today, that is there ringing in my ears. Today morning, when I was dressing up, those were the applauds that came to me. It means a lot to me. This experience was an humbling reflection. It stood by me for a very, very long time. And when I reflected through, I realized something different. I was not self made anymore. The audience, the personal coach, my mentor, when I was caught in the crossroad, helped me to navigate my career. All of them made who I am. Most of the time, we as women box ourselves and label ourselves. We love to do that. And society is also giving us various labels. Be a good girl, be a good wife, be a perfectionist. I'm no less. For a very long time, I also had all of these labels. It's very important for us to break these labels. It is very important for us to free ourselves from the limiting beliefs. I very strongly believed that I am a superwoman. Now I don't say that. In fact, I keep telling and reminding my husband that I'm not a good wife. And I truly believe, but I'm a wife who is trying to make the best of everything. It doesn't matter that we have to be good. When I was feeling of being a superwoman, and especially when I was challenged at work or at home, I used to work very hard to navigate these challenges, to be there. But you know what? Inside, I was stuck. I was stuck in these frames for being perfectionist. You know, you love those frames. But remember, if you see a broken frames with all the shattered glass pieces coming to it, it'll still be beautiful. It's just the perspective that you need to change. And when I realize there's the beauty in the imperfectionist, that's where I found my new energy. Being vulnerable, being imperfect, being gratitude. And the fundamental of all these was the collaboration. I started making collaboration very, very consciously. And these were the intention choices that I made. Very deliberate choices. Choices of building sisterhood or building a community. Choices of building brotherhood at workplace to support me. Choices building those mentors who can find the sponsors for me. choices where I can navigate the jungle gym. I cannot do it alone. This whole experience taught me that being solitary, that being a superwoman doesn't take me anywhere. I need to consciously build the network. And we have the power within us. So it is very important that I need not box myself. And of course, this came up to me as I was privileged enough to have coaches at a very early career. And my coach helped me to unbox myself and come out of those labels. And it is very important as a woman, every day I see so many of them saying that I'm a superwoman. I do get disappointed when I see a woman's picture with 10 hands around her. I do bow down to Durga, but I do have a problem when I see a woman with thousands hands around her. You can't do it alone, and neither she did it alone. It is the power that we have within ourselves, and we need to collect that power around a system. We can't be silos. As I said, shattering these glass pieces did not come easily for me. I think this was finally validated by my 3-year-old. When she was a 3-year, I was teaching her how to bounce the ball. And one day, she could bounce the ball. And I said her, very good. There's something that she said me that struck. She said, Amma, practice makes progress. I was stunned. I got to learn something different. And I was also very proud that I did not unburden my perfectionist on her. It is very, very important. As we build this illuminating potential, we not only build it for ourselves, for our next generation, and in our community, while all of you are the leaders. I have been coaching various leaders, and everyone, every time, be it a first-time manager or the CXO, come with a very single problem. How do I build relationship? How do I collaborate? How do I be that leader? Fundamentally, it starts from a simple thing about collective intelligence. Just before this talk, Samriddhi also said, we don't work in silos. We all need to accept we are Homo sapiens. We are not the tigress who will walk alone, but we are those lioness who are together. We need to make those changes in our life. Accept the reality that is there. Accept. And I got this power through my work on journaling. I journal every day. Every day. And I get to learn so many things on my past journaling topics that I have. As I said, coaching many of these leaders, I really found that the energy that everybody are drawing is from the teamwork. Remember that work that you did overnight? Did you enjoy when you did it alone? Did you enjoy it when you did it together? The happiness that you drive together. I remember during one of the Diwali, I made my whole team sit together and we had a blast in that room, right? But we were all proud because we completed something that was critical. And that could happen because we all came together with an intention to solve a difficult problem, with an intention to make things different. Recently, while I was coaching one of the women leader, she was taking up a position from a completely new organization without any expertise in her domain. She was not confident. But when she realized her experience was adding extreme value, within few months, she redefined leadership for herself and for her organization. These stories tell us really valuable thing about why we should not think we are alone. These stories tell us why we need to go along with people around us. When I came out of the break, I did go through various challenges, especially when I went after when my daughter came into my life. But it was my mentor when I went and spoke to him. He said, these challenges are true. I'm behind you, you march in the front. So remember, it is very important you need to have those systems around you. I would like to tell about this. Think about the Bentley car. I know how many of you love it. I always love the Bentley car because, it is built with that precision. It's crafted by so many hands together, right? It couldn't have happened in one day. Same with Tesla, which is the future energy. Same with Mercedes, which is pumped up with all the latest technology. You need to be the architect of your life and you need to own that part of it. And being the architect, you need to build the system, guardrails all around you. Even a superhero has their guards. Think about Captain America, Iron Man, or even the Wonder Woman. Then why are you alone? It is very important each one of us move together. You need to find the roar within you. Speak up when you're most uncomfortable. Build the light. Be the mentor for both men and allies and women. Help the men, especially the men, mentor them to be your support. A lot of them are also lost, like all of us. Be that amplifying voice for another woman. It makes a lot of difference. Even today, when a lot of women come to me and say, thank you, I accept it with gratitude. If it was not her, it wouldn't have been me. We're all here, there to support each other. And it is very, very important. You need to, and I think since yesterday, today morning, everywhere we are all saying only one thing. Invest in yourself. Upskill yourself. Never ever stop learning. Your child will teach you. The people around will teach you. But learn. But at the same time, don't stop teaching. Empower your wisdom. Share your wisdom. You have the most important experience with you that can shape the world. And be that light where you can make a lot of difference. So, dear ladies, I think I would only say listen to your voice. And all the people in this room, make sure you create an environment that everybody thrives. It's just not women, it's also men. But we are all in an ecosystem, not in a silos. As I said, first thing we need to believe ourselves that we are Homo sapiens. And we are made up of the collective energy that makes us who and what we are. And that is what is all about the collective intelligence. Empowered women empower the world, not just women. I would like to welcome all of you to join the hands together and build that magnificent mosaic, putting in all the small pieces together and making the difference so that each one of us are proud in this room. Thank you very much.